Hey guys, today we're taking a look at my updated Gagaga deck. So I decided to go back and do this deck, try to update it and change some things around because some new stuff has been added and I believe it's a much stronger deck type than it used to be. Gagaga is a deck type that's really just focused on XYZ summon. It's all about the star card that you're looking at right now that can change its level. And because it can change its level, there's a lot of really interesting things it can do based on level variety and things you want to try to do. But in combination with some of the other stuff you have access to, it's more than just an XYZ deck, and you'll see it can get supported by a lot of other things. So first off in this deck, we're going to be running one Dark Arm Dragon. This deck you can kind of manage the graveyard a bit, and it's all dark, so it lets you just, do things pretty easily with this deck type. Two Gagaga Child, I find that it's not as useful as some of the other Gagaga cards, but it still is, pretty useful that you can easily make the XYZ summon happen for you. It's just, it's a bit difficult because of the skipping of the battle phase. 3 Gaga Girl, just a very effective card. That bonus that you can annoy special summon monsters is also really good, so just lets you, again, XYZ. As I was saying, Gaga Magician just used to change levels to, make the deck pretty strong and give you access to pretty much any XYZ you want. So we're also supporting this deck with the Gogogos, which I'll talk about a little bit in the spells. We're using Gogogo Ghost and Giant, just really good cards helping you XYZ summon very easily. Their defensive stats is, 0 obviously, but that does give you the option to do things like run Mass Chameleon if you want, or do, additional things like that. Running one Gorz, we're very spell heavy, not as much trap heavy, so Gorz is easy to use. Gorz also combos really well with Gagaga because we can just, make Gaga level 7, easily make an XYZ summon there. 2 Mystic Tomato searches out all those weaker Gagagas, which is nice for us. And 2 Summoner Monk, not only do we have a high spell count, but we're also running a card like Gogogo Ghost, which gets a benefit from the fact it gets special summoned, so we have additional plays we have access to there. And like I was saying, we're going to be running a very high spell count because there's a lot of really good support cards for Gagagas. 1 Allure of Darkness for draw power, 2 Academy Emergency Network helping you special summon a Gaga, works out really well to set up what you need to do. We have a lot of searching and special summoning in this deck. 2 Gaga Bolt, just letting us destroy something on the field, very nice for us. 2 Gaga Revenge, Monster Reborn for our deck, allowing us to make, quick XYZ summons and make things happen. 2 MST, 3 Onomatopaira, just a really good card for this deck, and a big part of why we're running the Gogogos, because without that, you're just getting a 1-for-1 off of this card, which is kind of annoying, but otherwise, you can use this, and you can, grab 2 cards, easily make the plays you want to do, so makes this card very strong, and that's why we're running it at 3, because additionally we can search out and have access to things very, very easily. 1 Raigeki, 1 Soul Charge, pretty much staple. For traps, pretty much staple as well. Not as much room because of our high spell count, but we are running, 1 Deep Prison, 1 Fiendish Chain, and the traps you'd expect to see. So now for the extra deck, I'm just going to say in this extra deck, it's really all about the variety and what you want to use. It's really up to you. You can use any XYZ you want, and I'll talk about that in the side deck. So I'm just going to talk about the ones I'm using, but really in this deck type, the sky's the limit pretty much. Using Castel, very effective card. Ptolemy, also very effective. Felgrand, you could definitely run more than 1 Felgrand if you want. Very powerful card. Exciton Knight. Gaia Cowboy, normally I run Gaga in most of my decks, but in this deck you can run him and then you can use the Gaga support card, so very, very nice there. Gaia Dragon, obviously, with some of the ranking up you can do there. Gauntlet Launcher, Hieratic Sun Dragon. Leviair, just in case, with Gaga Girl, so that's, another thing we could do there. Dracossack, 2 Silent Honor, just a very powerful card nowadays, and we can easily make a lot of rank 4s, so why not run 2 Silent Honor? 1 Big Eye, Tiras, and Zenmaioh. Some of these are more my choice, a lot of them are staple, but again, you can run pretty much whatever you want, which is the fun part about this deck. So now for the side deck, if you haven't seen a video of mine before, in the side deck I kind of just talk about other recommended cards, other ideas I'm throwing around, other things I've seen, some things you guys might want to think about when you're building your deck. Not really a side deck for matches, again, just some ideas that I want people to know about. So you can run something like Armageddon Knight, Foolish Burial, get things to the graveyard to make other plays, like with Gaga Revenge. It's really up to you. You can run this deck with Chaos, it's all dark, so you can run Effect Veiler and Blackluster Soldier and things like that if you want. Cyber Dragon, Photon, Thrasher, if you want to have special summon power on top of those XYZs, you can easily do that as well, and then again do Chaos, so there's a lot of different options there. There's a few other Gaga cards. Gardna is the only one I might consider running, but I still don't think it's necessary, but obviously can give you some nice wall and some easy special summon, so it's up to you. There are some OCG Gaga cards that I'm very interested about that might be good when they come out. Sister looks really interesting because searching out Gaga spells and traps is very powerful. You can see the Gaga support cards are very nice, and it also has another effect which is pretty useful, so I feel like this card will be very useful. Tragodia also can be a very good card for this deck. Obviously, with how the levels work and how you're kind of changing things around, you can easily run this in this deck. There's a lot of other Gaga support cards. I don't think draw is really worth it. It's a lot of, cards to take out from the graveyard. Tag, I also don't think is really worth it. Wind, it's kind of debatable. I feel like it's not necessary with what you're trying to do, but again, it's another card you can consider running. Mind Control with the rank 4s can be an easy card, but it's really up to you whether it'll be more useful in this deck. Pot of Duality can help you with some consistency, obviously, but you won't be able to make your plays right away. You'll have to wait. There's also some Gaga traps. I don't think I'm that interested in them. I was using Rush in my last build, but it's so situational. I find that it's kind of hard to use. As far as XYZs go, you can run whatever you want. So I just wanted to mention a few. Gaga Samurai is an OCG one. That's another Gaga, which will be nice just to have another, Gaga card. You can run something like Zombie Stain because, we have cards that are all dark. You can easily run this. You can run any XYZ you want, Volcasaurus. I mean, I can go on and name tons and tons of XYZs that you could run, but it's really up to you. So I'm not going to go through, mention them all. Mass Chameleon, just another card I didn't put in here, but obviously can be good for the deck like I was saying. There's probably a bunch of other cards that I didn't mention, but I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments. So that's my updated Gaga deck. Again, just an XYZ focus deck, getting supported by a lot of spells and a lot of interesting stuff. Probably has some of the biggest XYZ variety of maybe any deck in existence. It really is good at making the variety happen, which is kind of the fun of the deck. So if you like a deck that just has a huge variety of levels in their XYZs, then this is definitely the deck for you. I did also want to mention, because of how we're using Onomatopaira, you can also run, other cards, not the Gogogos, or you could run, some of the other ones. It really depends on what you're trying to do. You can run Zubabas, you can run Dododos, whatever you want to do in order to kind of make your deck fun. And the only reason, like I said, that we're using those Gogogos is because they're part of that kind of card, so we can search them out. But if you want to use the others with all the other cards that just came out, you can do that. It's really up to you. I think Gogogos just support the deck really well and are allowing us to make those rank 4 plays happen really quickly. But yeah, that's the deck. So if you guys have any suggestions for me, any comments, anything you want to let me know, you can post below. I'll definitely take a look and see if there's any things I want to change or add around. But I am really liking how this deck is running. Just, let me know down below if you have any ideas for me. But that's about it for me. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. I'll see you later.